Can you save a lot of money without missing out on life? I did it, and I'm here to show you that you can too. Hi, I'm Davi. I'm a 5th-year teacher, and in my 20s, I've built a net worth of $100,000. But I'm gonna show you how I did it. I do wanna provide you some context. I did grow up in a low-income immigrant family, so I was not born rich by any means. I'm Cambodian-American, and my family had immigrated from Cambodia to the States in the 1980s. I lived with 11 people in our 3-bedroom house. We relied on a lot of government assistance. We had food stamps, Medicaid, Social Security. So I've come a really long way. If you're curious in how I did this and built wealth in a no-nonsense type of way, and I'm gonna keep it real with you, keep watching. Step number 1, you gotta make sure your mindset is correct. Your mindset is so important in creating wealth. I'm gonna hit on 3 points: having a growth mindset, a rich mindset, and also being comfortable with delayed gratification. So having a growth mindset means that you feel like you as a person, your intelligence, abilities can grow over time. A person with a fixed mindset believes that people are born smart or born rich, and you can't really change a lot of that. That's some boo-boo. So you need to start having a growth mindset. You need to start believing that you can make money and that you deserve to make money. Also, having a rich mindset means that you do not resent rich people, because how can you be something that you despise? When I was younger, I used to think, oh my God, rich people are so selfish and greedy, and I don't want to be anything like them. Well, guess what? I was poor back then. Like all I did was save money. I didn't know how to invest or make a business or have side hustles. I have a whole 2 videos on how rich people think, so if you want to watch it, the cards are up here. The third point that I want to touch on is you need to be comfortable with delayed gratification. We're so used to having instant gratification, getting packages within like a day or 2, or even the same day in like 5 hours, that rich people don't mind delayed gratification. They know their reward will come to them, and we know that good things take time, like building wealth. Number 2, you have to increase your income, either through side hustles or having multiple sources of income, because there is a cap to savings. When I was 18 and in college, I used to only save and coupon. However, once I started getting my career and learning different skills, I realized there's no cap to investing, there's no cap to wealth. For example, one of my biggest wins is one of my side hustles of paid focus groups. I made about like $9,000 in about 12 to 15 months. I bought it up here if you're interested. I really love this quote: you get what you put in. If you put a lot of effort, if you shoot your shot and you put all of these energies, all these applications, emails out into the world, you can increase your chance of luck. And I want to go over the example that, again, like if you want to make money, you need to increase your incomes. That could be having different jobs. When I was in college, I had 2 to 3 jobs. I was an academic coach, I was a server for a fine catering company, and I was also a math coach or math tutor for another different company. I just knew at this point, like I was in my early 20s, I didn't have a lot of things to do, so I just worked. I know that like my money was worth a lot then, and that I don't have to work as hard later in life. I like to share my numbers. So as a teacher, a year before taxes, I make $92,000 a year. The side hustles, like about $10,000 a year. And then now with the social media brand deals alone, probably upward of $7,000. But now I feel more abundant. I feel less stressed. I'm more giving. I love treating my friends and family. Like I just bought my best friend's tickets and hotel to FinCon, which is like a conference for financial content creators. I take my family out to food, my boyfriend out to vacations. Like that's where I want to be. And like I said, when you increase your income, you don't have to miss out on life. I can afford to travel 3 to 4 times or more throughout the year. Number 3 on how I built my net worth is having a budget. Budgeting can be boring, don't get me wrong, but it can be really exciting when you change your mindset to, instead of, oh my gosh, this is just going to show things that I can't afford, to budgeting is making a plan so I can start to afford things. So if you're new to budgeting, they have that whole 20-30-50 rule where 50% of your income after taxes goes to necessities like rent, groceries, and bills. 30% goes to variable things. Variable things are costs that depend that month. So for example, it could be like gas, entertainment, right? And then 20% goes to saving and investing. However, everyone's situation is different, so you can always adjust those numbers to your goals and to your circumstances. So I feel like if you approach budgeting as it's a plan to help you figure out how you can afford things versus, oh my God, looking at my budget, I feel so much shame and embarrassment looking at it. You have to face your fears head on, okay? So once you get your budget correct and make a payment plan for any debt that you have, you need to have goals and a plan to get to where you're at. Since my goal is to retire early, I am investing and saving aggressively. So I had to increase my income. I live below my means. I pay like $1,100 in rent with my boyfriend. I don't have a car payment because my parents gave me their car. Then I am investing it into an index fund, into my Roth IRA, or also my brokerage account. And I'm saving for things I care about. I buy things that I actually value. So I love traveling. So in 2025, I'm saving for Japan. During the summer, I don't like working summer school, so I'm saving for summer rent. Having a goal makes me feel really motivated to save that certain amount every single month. It also helps that I don't really care about luxury or status. Like I have a really old Toyota. I don't really care about getting a new car until mine fully and completely breaks down. I live really simply. I don't buy clothes or shoes very often. If I do, it's because they're worn out or because I've waited like a really long time, like a few months to buy it. I also still coupon for things. I used to be obsessed with couponing. I used to go like 3 to 4 times a week during grad school to like Target, Walgreens, CVS, and what else? Walmart, because I felt like I needed to feel something. I love to save through couponing. I follow a few people on YouTube and Instagram who do weekly deal breakdowns, and I just copy them. And I save a bunch of money on like hand soap, laundry detergent, trash bags, and other household goods and beauty products like shampoo and body wash. I think I was a little bit obsessive with couponing during grad school because I was trying to relieve stress. If you know, you know, but when you coupon, you get a rush. You feel like you're rigging the system and that you're playing a game. How much can you save? But even during this time, besides couponing, I was shopping a lot. I was online shopping and buying things like once or twice a week, and that wasn't very like me. I realized I was buying a ton of stuff to cope with the stress of graduate school and working full-time as a teacher, which is something I think a lot of people do, is very human, buying things to avoid emotional pain. So now I really ask myself and encourage you to ask yourself, do I actually need this, or am I distracting myself from something deeper? The last thing I want to mention about budgeting is I think in order for you to be successful with keeping and maintaining your budget is that you have to be really mindful of your goals, about your emotions and how you're feeling, is finding something and how you can de-stress, whether it's talking to your friends, going on a walk. Maybe you just need to eat and feed yourself, like taking care of your basic needs before you stop shopping online or going on your phone. Number 4, you need to learn how to invest. I know people talk about it all the time, but honestly what you need to do is go on YouTube, get a few books and look up what is the stock market, how does it work, and look up index fund investing. That's the best thing for investors. That's the best thing for beginner investors. I started investing when I was 23. And I made so much money just by investing my money into the stock market. I'll show you some of my returns, but this video isn't an investing video. If you're interested, comment below what do you want me to go over to show you what's possible over 5 years of investing regularly. Most regular investors will do just fine by buying index funds. Index funds are basically a group of stocks. So my favorite one is Vanguard's Total Stock Market, or VTSAX. This is all the publicly traded companies into one basket. So I'm investing over 3,000 companies. And like I said, this is my return from investing them consistently for 5 years. The reason why investing is so great is if you have extra money, this money is making you money while you sleep. The best strategy is just to buy and hold. So meaning you're gonna buy these stocks, you're not gonna get emotional, look at the price go up and down and then get scared and pull out. You're going to keep on investing and be a long-term investor, meaning you're gonna invest in this index fund or ETF for 10 or more years. And that's when you'll see a lot of the compound growth happen. So basically my strategy is buy and hold and dollar cost average. What that means is whatever the index fund costs that much, it could be $500, it could be $400, it could be $450. I'm not waiting to time the market. I'm not waiting for that index fund to go low. I'm buying that index fund at whatever price it is that month. One of my favorite investing quotes is, it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. What matters more, and you'll see more effective growth, is if you just buy and hold these stocks instead of buying and trying to figure out when the prices go up and down. Essentially, you actually lose more money that way. All right, number 5, you have to have good savings habits. You want to make sure you build an emergency fund. And I'm sure you've heard it a lot. People say you need a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, or honestly, just start anywhere, because 3 to 6 months can be anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000 savings fund. But if you need motivation, just start on $50. And then once you get more confident, you can start building that up to $100, then $200, then $250, then $1,000 eventually. If you don't have an emergency funds, and let's say you get into a car crash, or you need an emergency dental crown. What happens is emergency is taking away money that could have been grown and invested into the stock market or into a business or just for your enjoyment. Versus if you have an emergency fund, then that's like a buffer or a cushion for different emergencies. So for example, if I had to get a dental crown for an emergency, I have 3 of them. They're so annoying. But anyway, if I have an emergency fund, then I can just take out like $500 or $1,000 for that dental crown instead of potentially tapping into my Roth IRA or my individual brokerage account or money that I've been saving for like Japan or my wedding or something like that. The emergency fund helps protect my money and my growth and the potential occasion of having that Japan trip be on time, right? The next thing too is if you do not have a high yield savings account, I need you to do that today. Basically, traditional banks like Chase gives you shit returns on your savings. High yield savings accounts like Ally, SoFi give you 4.2% or higher on your savings account too. Check out your credit unions as well, because my credit union Schools First gives a 6.3 APY. Let me break that down. Essentially, the bank is paying you money for storing your money in their bank. Let's say you have $1,000, right? And you just stick it into a high yield savings account and there's a 4.2% APY. What that means is at the end of the year, you're getting 4.2% of $1,000, which is $42, but they pay you monthly. So you do $42 divided by 12. That's $3.50 a month you're getting just by keeping $1,000 in that savings account. So you need to do this for like short to medium savings goals. So that way your money isn't losing value. Next one is using credit cards responsibly. I use a credit card like a debit card. Whatever money I have is how much I'm spending, and I'm not overspending on things that I cannot afford. I also love travel credit cards. So this is how I'm able to still go on vacations and travel 3 to 4 times or more a year, is that I use credit cards that have a sign-on bonus. They're travel credit cards. So if you spend $4,000 in 3 months, then you get like 80 to 100,000 points. That translates to about $800 to $1,000 that you can use for travel, hotels, and car rentals. Also, building your credit is amazing if you also want to rent an apartment without having a cosigner like your family, and also having a good interest rate when you want to buy a car or a mortgage. The last point I want to make before my camera dies again from overheating is that you need to enjoy yourself throughout the process. Reward yourself. Like for me, I like to do massages, go out with my friends, do staycations, buy myself a little bag. That way your journey to wealth or journey to paying off debt and budgeting is not miserable. Anyway, this is how I built my wealth in my 20s without having to give up on little joys in life. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Comment below what are some of your financial goals and how you're building wealth, and I'll see you in the next video.